Welcome back to Savage Showdowns. This week we will again be returning to the battle arena. This week we have a Dimetrodon facing off against the most famous reindeer of all, Rudolph. But first, if you like this content, please give it a like and consider subscribing. It's free and it really helps the channel out. First up, let's look at our sail-backed lizard, the Dimetrodon. Size. Dimetrodon was a group of related species with the largest growing 15 feet long and weighing 550 pounds. Strength. The Dimetrodon was capable of crushing bones with a bite force capable of exerting up to 4,000 newtons towards the back. This was primarily due to its large skull, allowing for lots of large jaw muscle attachment. Speed. Despite its frame, Dimetrodon was believed to be able to run at reasonable speeds, but only for short bursts. There isn't many exact figures, but one number I could find put them between 15 and 20 miles per hour. Stealth. It is believed the Dimetrodon may have been an ambush predator, using its sail for camouflage. As this is just speculation, we will give it a reasonable stealth score. Weapons and armor. For armor, Dimetrodons had thicker skeletons, as well as scutes in their skin similar to crocodilians. They may have also had some fur. This would protect them from major slashing attacks, as well as limit the effects of blunt trauma. However, their shell was vulnerable, as it was simply long vertebrae connected by membrane. In terms of weapons, Dimetrodon boasted its mouthful of teeth, which were for tearing and shredding meat. These teeth likely also had good grabbing power, given their bite force, with the tearing and shredding occurring after the grip was done. Now, for the most famous reindeer of all, and the leader of Santa's sleigh, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. As far as we know, Rudolph was a normal reindeer with two major exceptions, a glowing red nose and the fact that Rudolph can fly. Size. Reindeer stand 53 inches tall at the shoulder, or a little over 4 feet, and large male reindeer can weigh roughly 530 pounds. Strength. Reindeer are famous for pulling Santa's sleigh, and some can pull loads of up to 250 pounds through snow at reasonable speeds by themselves. Speed. Reindeer can run up to 50 miles per hour and maintain speeds in roughly the 20 mile per hour range. We will assume Rudolph can slide at the same speed despite having to cover the entire world in one night. Stealth. Most lone reindeer are kind of stealthy. However, they prefer to live in large groups that are noticeable but safe, relying more on herd safety and numbers than on individual stealth. Rudolph, however, has a big, mysterious glowing nose that greatly reduces his stealth to essentially zero. This glow could either be produced via a bioluminescent microorganism similar to anglerfish, or by heat. Regardless, it makes him quite noticeable. Weapons and armor. For armor, reindeer have their thick hide that protects them when they fight Arctic wolves, as well as the fur that helps insulate them from the cold weather. This helps to protect them from both slashing wounds, but not as much from blunt trauma. Weapons consist of sharp pointed hooves and antlers, which are the largest and heaviest of all living deer species compared to their body size, going up to 51 inches long in males. So who wins? Let's find out. Our arena will be a frozen forest to keep with our Christmas theme. We will assume that our Dimetrodon would have its normal level of camouflage here and could survive normally, despite this not being considered their natural habitat. Rudolph is grazing on some grasses and lichens. Moving snow is necessary with his hooves and antlers. His nose is glowing like a huge red beacon. Nearby in the woods, our Dimetrodon notices the light and decides to investigate. As it comes closer, its sail manages to break up its outline, keeping it hidden. Eventually, it sees Rudolph and curiously starts to walk closer. Then, in an incredible burst of speed, it runs at him and grabs onto his front leg with its powerful jaws, ripping and tearing the outer flesh and even managing to cause a hairline fracture before Rudolph breaks free. As soon as his legs are free, Rudolph kicks down with his hooves and digs into the Dimetrodon's skin, causing some moderate blunt force trauma and some slashing wounds with the sharp tips, as the early synapsid retreats out of range. Rudolph then stomps his hooves, trying to scare off the Dimetrodon, but to no avail. Rudolph then charges before taking off to the skies and circling around for an airborne charge. As he comes in close, it becomes apparent that even with his large antlers, if he wants to remain airborne, he can only attack the Dimetrodon's sail, as the synapsid is so close to the ground. The charge ends up connecting and breaks several of the vertebrae that make up the sail in several different spots and tears the membrane that connects them. The Dimetrodon cries out with a sound, somewhere between a hiss and a roar. Rudolph lands and begins stamping his feet at the injured Dimetrodon, which latches onto his leg again, finishing off the break and ending up with a severe fracture. The other hoof continues to connect, causing severe damage to the skull of the Dimetrodon. Our two competitors square up, one with a broken leg, the other with a mangled sail and damaged skull. The Dimetrodon charges, thinking Rudolph can't effectively defend himself with a broken leg. Rudolph proves it wrong when he lowers his head at the last second, the bright light on his nose temporarily disorienting the Dimetrodon as it gets close to its face, and then he flips it with his antlers. With the Dimetrodon on its side, Rudolph gores its belly with his antlers and as best he can with his damaged front legs. Eventually, he tears its chest cavity apart and kills it. Rudolph wins, his height and supernatural abilities, as well as the magic of Christmas, giving him the edge he needed to overcome the Dimetrodon. This was meant to be a more lighthearted video, and we will resume more serious analysis next time, but I still hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Feel free to suggest any future fights. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next Savage Showdown.